pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anna, if you would please call roll.
Klein.
Here.
Luter.
Yes.
Yes.
Harry.
Here.
Aaron.
Yes.
Braverman.
Yes.
Burr.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the special council meeting of September 5th, 2018?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments on that? Okay.
Glasses.
If you would please call roll.
Klein.
Yes.
Luter.
Yes.
Yes.
Harry. Barron.
Yes.
Braverman.
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report of fiscal year 2018 through July? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Cavender, if you would please.
Good evening. The treasurer's report, cash balances for July 31st. Out of all of our funds, there's $5,182,000 in all of our bank accounts. You have a summary of the monthly and year-to-date activity through July 2018. And we had $904,000 in revenue for July, bringing our total to $5 million, almost $5,100,000. Our July expenditures were $562,000, bringing our total year-to-date to about $4.6 million. And you also have in your packet the general fund breakdown by line item for revenue and expenditures. We're at 58% of the year through July. Our revenues are at 59.69%. And our total expenditures for the general fund is at 61%. As I stated before, we have some expenditures that we've spent 100% at this point of the year. That's why the percentage is higher than the 58%. Are there any questions?
Anybody have questions? All right. If you would please call roll.
Klein.
Yes.
Luter.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Harry. Barron.
Yes.
Braverman.
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. And can I have a motion to approve the tax administrator's report of August 31st, 2018? Thank you, Ms. Perry. Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Klein. Ms. Cavender? Hello again.
The tax administrator report, this is through August 31st. It's broken out between Orange Village, the Pinecrest Development, and Chagrin Highlands. So for Pinecrest, I just wanted to note, it shows up just under $12,000 in revenue. The Rita is only breaking out at this point the contractors' portions for the construction. The tenants' revenue is not included here. They're still compiling the database needed to track that. And they indicated that next month, we will be showing the Pinecrest with all of the income from all of the tenants there since they opened, so they'll catch us all back up. They're just building the database so they can provide that number to us.
How are they doing that? I mean, isn't it going to be rolling? It's going to be changing every...
Yes, it'll be cumulative.
And it'll be changing over time, too. I mean, the database will always be added to or subtracted from.
Correct. That's correct. I sent...
Certificate of occupancies, she gets copies and she lets them know.
We're not expecting them to be that far behind all the time, are we?
Once they get going.
They once now that the occupancy started in August, they were starting to fill up the database and create the database separate from the contractor's portion and creating the database so they can track it for us. And then they will be adding, as the new tenants arrive, they will be including that on the report as well.
All right.
Acting as they move out, too.
And then subtracting, making any adjustments as needed.
We'll still be able to track the construction for the build-outs.
Yes, they're keeping those two separate pools separate in two separate databases and then sending those to me each month. Yes.
Thank you.
And on Chagrin Highlands, for the Chagrin Highlands South section, I went over with them today as well to provide them with the developers and the construction process there so they can get that included into the Chagrin Highland numbers. So looking at the report, we had total gross collections for August of 2018 for all three areas of $336,000 compared to last year, which was, where is it on here? $289. So we're about $46,700 higher than where we were at the same period of time last year.
In the Highlands, is that more attributable to like Slimans, or is that?
It's not part of the Highlands.
Oh, yeah. So is that just, it's UH and, I mean, does it have anything to do with the restaurant that's being built right now?
It's going to be in the Chagrin Highlands South, and that's the database that they're currently creating now to add into it.
That's part of Chagrin Highlands, so-
Yeah, we
but,
have to share that money.
right, but does this number reflect that?
Part of the Chagrin. Oh, I'm wrong. Slimans was Red Robin. It is part of Chagrin Highlands. Sorry. I stand corrected. Sorry. Yes.
So, it's one of the differences in this.
Imagine
from
how it could not have been part of the Highlands.
Chagrin Highlands South is not included in these figures yet for the construction portion of the Chagrin Highlands South, which is where,
Slimans have anything to do with this number? Like, why is this number so much bigger?
Well, it was low because UH was low one.
if you recall, last month, we were lower. There was a reduction, and there was less income, so it was just a timing difference. I think we're catching up a little bit in terms of the monthly calculations, but in terms of the total increase of $46,000 in revenue between
Between the 2 years?
the 2 years is,
I'm just wondering if that's attributable to anything specific or not necessarily. Okay.
Is the one that was at our desk tonight, which is slightly different from the one that was packaged?
the one tonight includes the Pinecrest breakdown, so it is slightly different. I gave you the more current figures. And I did talk to Rita to try and get the figures by the end of the month, so I can give it to you in your original package with the final numbers,
Okay, okay.
instead of waiting until today to get them.
Any other questions?
You do know that the Chagrin Highlands, whether it's the north or the south, we only do 50% of it.
Thank you. If you would please call roll.
Klein,
Yes.
Fluter,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Barry. Barron.
Yes.
Braverman,
Yes,
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
But to be clear, Mayor, on that point, this is showing the 100%, and we keep 50% of this number.
50% comes out in the expense column.
Right, okay. Moving on to discussion of bills to be paid for the month of, oh, it doesn't say there, September 2018, in the amount of $404,220.43, and additional August expenses in the amount of $55,487.16.
Please notice of the $404,000, $233,000 of that was paid towards the fire truck.
I had a question about K-9 car? That comes out of the dispatch?
No, but we bought some equipment through this, yeah. They're paying on IT. Not the car.
Yeah, I couldn't tell exactly, you know.
The MDT, Mobile Data Terminal.
Were the golf carts for the police and fire department for Pinecrest, were those reimbursable or no?
How many of them did we buy?
All right, anybody have any questions or comments on the bills?
Is it, are those going to be touring the area on a regular basis?
They can, once we have trails, they can go on the trails.
I don't think,
A lot of use up at
they're street.
the garages. Have you seen them around?
Yeah.
All right. Any other comments?
Are they street legal? I mean, can they drive on the city streets?
Golf cart, you can't.
Golf carts can be outfitted so they can drive,
These can drive on the street?
as long as they have lights.
Law is we got 35 or less if it has seat belts, license plate, but this is for citizens. For us, obviously, our license plate, we would have license plates on our cars. Headlights, horn, directionals, seat belt, that's
But
Gotcha.
we don't need to, I don't know what to.
All right. Okay. Any other comments on the bills? Moving on to audience comments relating to agenda items only.
Boy's gonna say something.
Please, anybody want to say anything? No?
That's our new state rep.
Hello.
Debate.
Moving on to new business of pending legislation and motions, ordinance 2018-32, and ordinance amending, I guess it would be section 771.03, exemptions of existing Title III, Chapter 771, emissions tax of the codified ordinances of Orange Village, to amend and update the emissions tax of Orange Village. This is on for first reading.
This came about because we have a lot more businesses now subject to the admissions tax, and I didn't think it was very clear. We wanted to clearly enumerate the businesses to which this will apply to, and when going to do that, we realized that our ordinance must be very outdated because it says that the admission price is, it's applied to admission prices of 41 cents or more. We're just taking that out completely. But it was really to expand the definition of who it affects.
Well,
I'm not
actually,
finding that
there aren't-
paragraph.
there
Oh,
aren't-
here it is.
Yeah, there aren't changes. What we've done is put together an ordinance that gets rid of the outdated language. We've also given to you the entire chapter to look at. The levy of the tax is very clear on every admission. If you look at .02, A, B, C, and D, actually on the second page you have even E and F are the covered businesses. If somebody believes that there is something not clear about this, we certainly have the authority to change language. I'm comfortable that it's clear.
I saw some red lines where we added like workout, exercise places.
Remember that too, and I don't know what happened.
It's
It's just on for first reading,
All right, you'll bring the red line copy for next?
if there is one.
Okay.
Is there going to be an educational program for,
We have, didn't you talk to the businesses that are subject to the admissions tax? Sent them a letter, sent them a form, sent them,
Brought your own microphone.
Sent letters out to the businesses in Pinecrest with the chapter and explained to them the admissions tax.
your microphone now?
I have my own microphone, yes. This is Anna's contribution for this evening.
Nice, okay.
Any other questions or comments on ordinance 2018-32? All right. If not, let's move on to ordinance 2018-33, an ordinance providing compensation for certain village employees and repealing certain ordinances. This is on for first reading.
I have a chart, if you want to get into it, but this is to raise the upper limits for the employees that are getting there. We did a spreadsheet and like the raises for 18 and the 19, and those people that are going to hit the ceiling, we're just bumping it up a little bit. There's one that got left off, and I think it's because the person who did this, it applies to them. I'm having Steve amend this so that in the administration, under finance administrator, the maximum is raised to 75 instead of 69. She's at getting close to that in the next year or two, but she's also had some increases in her duty responsibilities. So other than that, this will give us room for a few years.
Did you say that you had some information to see what they're getting now? I would find that very helpful.
That shows what they're getting now, what they'll get with the raise in 2019, and then, how it compares to the max.
Do you have a copy of that? That would be helpful.
I can put together a red line to show the current.
That would be helpful.
That'd be helpful if you could just do the red line on this.
There's some things that we've added that weren't in, like,
Names of
there's some things that have changed their names, so we'll get you that.
All
Yes,
right,
please.
You may want this, too.
all right, thank you. Moving on to ordinance 2018-34, an ordinance appointing Anna Girardi as the Clerk of Council of Orange Village, providing compensation for the Clerk of Council. Emergency, this is on first reading. As you're all aware, Anna's been filling in I think she's been doing a great job thus far. And, you know, I think she's extremely qualified for it, for the position, and I'd actually like to make a motion to suspend the rules to pass this ordinance tonight. We do have it in the ordinance that it would be retroactive just to September 1st, which would be basically the beginning of this month, so last meeting, not all the way back to when she started, you know, acting as clerk. So it would just be retro for a couple weeks.
Anna's going to do this on top of her 40 hours. This has nothing to do with her full-time job.
But if I may go back to the legislation 21833, Clerk of Council, Office Administrative Assistant, you've got such a wide spread.
That was it. Originally, that was put in there because we had Mary Catherine that was both. So this motion or this ordinance that you would pass tonight would apply to Anna specifically.
I get that. So when you give me whatever you're going to give me, will that be deleted? You know, the information?
Why, the reason why the Clerk of Council Office Administrative Assistant will stay in there is, as everybody knows, people come, people go, and by having the range in there permanently, it gives you the ability to appoint someone by motion only.
I see.
It happens that because Anna's a full-time employee and the negotiation has led to the $300 stipend, that's going to set a specific amount. There's going to be a range. If council appointed somebody to the position, that range would also be available if the person was just a clerk. I mean, that.
I see.
We're using that category because we're still looking for a part-time staff person in the administration. When we set this up, I guess we thought we were going to repeat the Mary Catherine model, but we're not.
You'll have, what, 2 separate positions? Is that what you're telling me?
And we'll take on these roles and do it in addition to her job, and we're still interviewing for a part-timer to take the job that Mary Catherine was doing with the building department and helping in finance.
Minus the councils.
So when that person's appointed, assuming there's budget for it, that person would have a range between 29 and 55, if that's the right number.
Or the person we hire might be paid under the clerical part-time help.
That's if it's a part-time person, that's right.
Why are we establishing the compensation effective September the 1st for Anna? Why aren't we taking it from when she got the job?
She didn't actually have the job back then. She
Did the work.
Yeah, I mean, if council wants to go ahead and amend this ordinance, I guess you guys can.
When did she actually, it was in the middle of August?
July.
Poor lady handle all of this?
July, like, I would say August for sure.
Well, I would say that doesn't seem quite fair.
But I don't mind, I mean,
You want the job?
Wait, we have like 7 conversations going on here at once.
I would like to compensate her from when she took over the position.
You know when that was? Does anybody here know when that was?
I'm going to look at.
When did Mary Catherine leave?
When did Mary Catherine leave? That's easy enough.
That's what I said.
You like that?
I understand that, but we still have to find what that.
July 1st.
Well, then, that's where it should be.
Let's give Steve a minute here.
He's looking, can I just clarify one point?
Yep.
Are you paying Anna for the council clerk a stipend or that salary range?
It's a fixed amount, stipend.
In that ordinance, it's
A stipend of $300 a month. There is a range of $250 to $350, but I mean, I can't imagine that she's going to get docked lower because this is specific to her.
Okay, I just
But
wanted.
it gives a range that with increases over the years, that there's still some room, you know, above where it's currently at if we do like 3% raises.
How many
And this is based on an estimate of the number of hours and all that.
hours are you estimating?
10.
okay, so
10?
Why?
How many hours are you estimating for her?
15 hours.
15 hours a month.
the regular meeting in July, which was July 11th, the previous week was July 4th. We didn't have a meeting. So that was when Anna was first. Mary Catherine was the clerk for June. Does that sound
So,
right?
all right,
What it
So
says in the
can we
minutes.
take it back to July the 1st, then?
we can do whatever you want.
That seems fair to me.
friendly amendment.
Okay, so, Francis, would you like to make a motion to amend the effective date as, to be July 1st, 2018?
Yes, I would like to amend ordinance 2018-34, where it currently stipulates that her salary commences September the 1st to July the 1st, 2018, retroactive.
Oh,
Thank you, Mr. Bilski. Roll on that, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Cluter,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Barron, Braverman, Duber.
Yes, and I would like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
Amendment will be in section 1, and it's also in the third paragraph of the preamble, just so everyone's...
Okay,
Yes.
So we'll get a revised ordinance out there.
okay, thank you.
We can still do this tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules to pass ordinance 2018-34 tonight.
Second.
Oh, is there a second? Anyone? Thank you. And if you'd call roll on suspension, please.
Klein,
yes.
Cluter,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Perry, Barron,
Yes.
Braverman,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes, and I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 2018-34. Is there a second? Thank you. Any other comments? If you call roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Cluter,
Yes.
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Barron,
Yes.
Braverman,
Yes?
Duber.
Yes. Moving on. Yes.
218-33. I don't understand the rationale for the chief of police having a minimum salary less than a police lieutenant.
This is history.
Arbitrary, but-
Woke up.
This is a good point.
I didn't even look at those really, because what difference does it make what the minimum is? When we get rid of him, we'll hire somebody at the minimum.
Or maybe,
One of the Bilski kids will probably take the job.
I'm working for you.
That's funny.
You know, you may want to cut the pay of this chief someday.
All right, we're moving on, moving on, moving on. All right. Moving on to Resolution 2018-5, a resolution authorizing the mayor to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Ohio Public Works Commission State Capital Improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required. Would anybody like to make a motion to pass this resolution? I will make it. Is there a second?
is
Thank
this
you.
just the co-op?
Now, this is the issue 1 formerly known as issue 2, and we're applying for a culvert project on Miles Road.
Oh, it is?
Bob knows more if you want to know more.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a microphone right there.
Did we ever get the answer about whether it will hurt our small government chances if we're with the city?
No.
No, we didn't get the answer, or no, it won't hurt it?
No, we don't know. This is a joint project. This is a culvert on Miles Road, goes into Cheswick. So we're taking the lead role on this because the problem is on our side of the Miles Road, but we'll require Solon to do improvements there as well. We sort of can't go halfway down. So we're going file for the OPWC on behalf of us and Solon. Brian, the engineer, is looking into what happens if it goes from OPWC down to local government, whether the city of Solon would be applicable to get that. So I don't have that answer, nor does Brian at the moment. But we're going to, round 1 is try to get the OPWC money for this first.
And the
Then we'll
deadline?
look at other items. And just to let you know, it's we're looking at 50% of that project. The total project's $108,000, with Orange Village's portion about $47,000.
All right, thank you. Any other, any comments? All right, call roll. If you'd call roll, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Klein,
Yes.
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Perry, Barron,
Yes.
Braverman, Duber.
Yes. Moving on to audience comments relating to matters which advance to the good of the village. Is there anybody who'd like to make any comments? No, still no Bilski comments. Committee reports and comments by council members. What? Yes. Did this.
Oh. What happened to 6?
Bob, I never got an answer to the question, the 50-50 split with Cuyahoga County. I have a resolution prepared in case we need it.
Have we done it in the past?
Brian doesn't, believes that we don't need to, and we don't have that answer, so we're going to pass on it.
We don't need to, is what you're saying?
That's a double negative.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Berry. Thank you. Mr. Barron.
Well, I'd like to invite everyone to the Northeast Ohio City Council Association. We're having a meeting with the head of the county library, Feldman. And it's going to be talking about the impact of our region with the library on the collaboration effects between various stakeholders. Important to have when looking at the future of Northeastern Ohio. It is Thursday, September 20th at the Doubletree Hilton on Quarry Lane.
Yom Kippur.
It's after.
Yeah.
Supper program begins at 6:30.
We'll see.
You are all cordially invited.
Might be able
There's
to
no
go.
fee to you because the village participates
I like going.
in paying our
Go. I go, usually.
Be there to report back to all of us if we have a really unfortunate conflict and we can't attend.
I love
Any other
library.
comments? Okay, thank you. Mr. Raverman. Mr. Bilski.
No comments.
Just to update, Planning Commission met last night in a special meeting because of, we were not able to have a meeting next Tuesday, and we couldn't have one on the first Tuesday of the month. So we had a special meeting last night, a couple items on the agenda, which included home at in the Lakes of Orange, and some landscaping, and an accessory building that was the result of the ordinance that we passed at the last council meeting for a variance. And that's all there is to report from Planning Commission, unless the mayor wants to talk about the Beechwood Inn. Okay.
Scooter.
I had a phone call yesterday from somebody who doesn't live in the community, but was trying to, it was about 2 o'clock, trying to get towards Pinecrest, and there was a big traffic jam coming off the freeway, and I said, we're looking at traffic patterns, so where are we going with that?
Well, I'll let Zugan give you the stuff you won't understand, because he can tell you all the technical stuff. But we are working with multiple agencies, including Beechwood and ODOT, to try to get the cables all connected. We're on it, we're working on it. I get text messages on this, too. It is not how it's going to be. I don't know how long we are from getting it the way we want it to be. Now you can tell them the technical stuff.
Yes, we're aware about it.
Okay.
The contractors, both Sugar and Highlands and Independence, have got back and verified some of the infrastructure to make sure it's in place. They're getting prices, we're getting prices. We're working along with ODOT on a couple of hopeful, promising outcomes, I hope, and getting it all connected. So that's the first step of addressing. I mean, we can't address the traffic issues.
I can tell them this is where we are. No, I can say this.
We're working on it.
Okay.
I would say we're getting closer. I don't
Okay.
have an exact date.
Months, weeks?
I would think a month or less.
Oh, well, that's wonderful.
Okay, so the answer is, the traffic pattern is not how it's going to be because the lights are not synchronized or synced yet, so we know that.
Okay.
Just backing up a second, I'm sorry, I just wanted to point something out to the chief that I noticed, and maybe some others have as well, that folks are driving east on Harvard Road to the intersection of Brainerd and Harvard and making U-turns to come back around to get into the Whole Foods
Yeah.
driveway, and
Yep.
it eventually is going to lead to some kind of serious problem, so you might want to be watching that.
Well, just to let you know, you're aware, and U-turns are legal.
Yeah.
It's not an illegal, that's a legal U-turn, which we provided to everybody that lived on that street when we decided to put an island down there.
Okay.
So we don't prohibit U-turns, so there's nothing illegal going on as long as it's done safely. The
Well,
problem is that some drivers believe that it's illegal, so they are turning into some of the residents' driveways.
Yeah.
They're causing problems, which we're dealing with right now.
Well, what I observed was somebody making a U-turn up onto the curb and coming back around, which it's not, and they stopped and then backed up, so it's not altogether safe.
That will be, the volume of people doing it, and I've seen it too, will be greatly reduced once we've got the lights.
Once the entry circulation, I think, is aligned properly, then I think some of that will go away. But it was watching something disastrous unfolding before my eyes that fortunately didn't happen, but it could have easily.
You guys gotta come up with some news, because this is what we've been dealing with for weeks now.
But we're only into it now, Chief.
Enough time to keep up with what the stuff that we're dealing with.
Ingress to Whole Foods is great. Egress, not so. They're messing up coming out of there, yeah. I want to thank you, Mayor, for Code Red, for the Miles Road bulletins. That's very helpful, that we know that we still have to be careful where we're driving in that area, if we're even driving.
All will be to tell you that it's open.
Good, thank you.
The fountain.
I'm not supposed to speak about the Red House, but I took pictures this morning and I wanted Anna to share it with everybody. However, I was preempted. She sent it to Tom Shields and the building inspector, and he gave a really good report. Apparently, they're almost down to the wire, almost. They're negotiating for some sort of a certificate or something to start the demolition. So hopefully in the next month that might be occurring. You're smiling. He is smiling. The Lord Director is smiling. Is that so? Am I right?
I believe you're right.
Oh, that's a good thing. And are we right, Mr. Bob Zugan? You throw your hands up at me. It's been wild. This has been a really wild ride, but the pictures will tell 1,000 words. It's awful. And the worry on the street is that it's so dark at night, and they're very fearful that people can be hanging out, although the police crews, if you haven't been there, you need to take a little ride out, because none of you, I don't believe, live on a street where there's been a house that's been sitting uninhabited for about 10 years and allowed to go into total disrepair. It's been very sad. And I would like to see some sort of legislation, as I say, something that we could use for other homes that might be following this example. So
I don't know how we can't outlaw vacant homes, but we do have rules against bad maintenance.
well, that's it. But you've had to cut grass, and you've had to pick up all sorts of trash around mailboxes. It's been a nightmare for the service department, that I do know. And the driveway, which we're supposed to have, well, you could sue them for the driveway alone because they just threw gravel down, and the gravel has washed away, and it's interesting. It's awful.
Would you like me to read, is anyone else interested in Mr. McLaughlin's answer on this?
It would be lovely if you did, because I didn't bring it. Go ahead.
He writes that he's been in touch with the owner today and discovered that the owner was waiting for Bob to tell him that the demolition permit was ready. Bob explained that he's been ready to issue and asked that he call his demolition contractor for a specific date. You may recall that the contractor registered in June, and then we found out that the Cleveland Health Department had changed its rules in January to require an asbestos test. The owner then proceeded to have the utilities removed, and then he paid for the asbestos test. On August 29th, we were sent a report confirming that only the kitchen flooring had asbestos, so no remediation was required. Since then, we've been waiting to get the permit fee while he's been waiting for us to tell him to bring the fee. I'll let you know what he tells me about the new tear-down date.
To me, that's encouraging. It was sort of, but I'll believe it when it physically happens. But they have taken,
we are doing everything we can.
No, I believe me, but when you walk past it on a regular diet and you live in the neighborhood, it's very discouraging. And, you know, people are trying to sell houses and they're not sure how the value of their house will be impacted, so that's the story. Thank you, everybody, I appreciate it. Thank you, Anna, for doing that for me today.
Any other comments? Any other comments? Ms. Kluter?
I'm done, thank you.
Thank you. Mayor?
If you will not mind, I'll just acknowledge Juanita Brent in the back, if she wants to say anything. An opponent in November?
Don't.
Okay, so she is definitely going to be our state rep.
Hi, everyone. My name is Juanita Brent. I'm technically the state rep-elect for House District 12, which includes Orange Village and 9 other cities. So this is not my first time coming to City Council. I try to pop in maybe every 2 months just to try to see what's going on, but I do read your notes online, so I thank you that you guys do keep up to date with information. And if anybody wants my contact information, I'd be more than willing to give it to you afterwards, too. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
The only comment I want to, we received a schedule for the recreational trails. I know, it's very exciting. It looks like, according to the schedule, that they will be here on September 24th, setting up signage for the clearing and the grubbing, and then starting that and working all the way through, and they have an end date of September 27th. Don't count on it. According to the schedule, they are. But according to the schedule, they'll be in, like on Emery Road in the winter, and didn't Brian say that's okay because they don't have pipes to do there?
In a nutshell, they're going, December 5th is a projected date. They'll be working on Lander Road first.
First, they're doing to Emery, yeah.
They'll start with the grubbing, and then over the winter, they'll do what storm sewer work they can on the other roads needing that improvement, weather pending, and then just get back up, I think it was February, they'll hold me to that, where they'll start moving on with the other roads. And just to let you know, I mean, this is a trial run because they asked to go one way on certain streets. So this is a trial run for them to shut down and go one way. And that's what will be happening on Lander Road between Miles and Emery, one-way traffic maintained.
So, did we ever get a couple of those other spots figured out? Or like along Miles, or are we still working on it? We're still working on those?
We're working on the alternates. We have to go ahead and move forward with right of entries and easements and reach out to those residents as well.
Okay.
But we're getting started right, as soon as we can here, so.
Thank you.
Starting in the, what's his name?
Lapse in the tape.
Putting on the stretch.
Lapse in the tape.
On. Anything else, Mayor?
No, but I don't know if you want to see the schedule or not, but it's happening.
Great, thanks. I don't have any comments, so can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Is there a second? Thank Mr. Klein, thank you.